All right, yeah. That was a little bit of fun. Made it just on the spur of the moment at the very last minute. Good evening, folks. It's Saturday night, 10 p.m. We're over here on the East Coast. And yeah, wherever you are, it's your time. Okay, my name is Bill. You're watching Bill's Box of Sound. Oh man, we got a party going on in the chat room. We got Lonnie saying hi. We got Johnny Fradley. We got Paul. Yeah. Got the Metal Theologian in the house. Let's see. Been re-listening to my One Size Fits All 50 box. Plus diving into the new album LSD from Cardiacs. Nice, nice, nice. Ooh, and the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway 50th anniversary big ass box set coming to his house. Oh yeah. And let's see. Paul, where did you get the oh, the Cardiacs album? Huh, interesting. All right. Let's see. Lonnie just got his 3 CD boxed set of Beat. Oh, I want to check out that album because I was not able to go to any of the concerts. And Vinyl Richie in the house saying LSD is always good. Well, yeah, I guess so. So anyway, let us start off properly, get the drink going. Now, this evening, we are eschewing the usual Diet Coke for something just a little different. I was shopping around today, and I saw something that I swear I haven't seen since the late 60s. The hell is this? RC Cola, but it's not sugar-free, it's not diet, it's zero sugar. Everybody's going into this zero sugar thing nowadays. What the hell's up with that? So, good old Royal Crown Cola, established in 1905, but I remember this stuff back in the 60s when you couldn't get Coke or Pepsi. Oh, you could always get Royal Crown. Yeah. And if I remember, this stuff just it didn't have as much oomph as the big colas did. So let's try this stuff out. Not even putting no alcohol in here. No alcohol. Let's just try it straight over ice. All right. Getting that ASMR going. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got records tonight. We got new records, and we've got records that haven't been released yet. Well, maybe older records that are being re-released, but I know I'm in the way of the ASMR. Oh yeah, it's nice. It's a good sound. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Kind of weak. I'll have to check it out. Anyway, you guys know what Beat is. It's that tribute to the 80s King Crimson, which has, of course, Adrian Belew on guitar and vocals, Tony Levin on bass and stick and some vocals. Taking the drum seat over from Bill Bruford is Danny Carey from Tool and many other things. And the second guitarist playing the role of the stuff that Robert Fripp used to do is Steve Vai. So yeah, awesome stuff. Oh man, you're looking close, ain't you, Michael? Yeah, this was inspired by you showing some Bill Nelson stuff a couple weeks ago, some Bill Nelson things, and you had also shown Michael P. Dawson, who has a great thing that he does every Friday morning, VC Friday. Good stuff. I haven't watched this week's yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But when you had you were showing some Bill Nelson, and you showed the Bebop Deluxe album Live in the Air Age, and you talked about the song Blazing Apostles, which they always ended their set with, and you talk about where it ends, where it fades out. So, uh, now a few years ago on Record Store Day, they did put out this boxed set. Well, it's not. Well, there was a boxed set that did come out. I mean, it was a multi CD box set, and it was like all the shows that were recorded on that tour that ended up making the Live in the Air Age album. But I guess the majority of the Live in the Air Age album was the Hammersmith Odeon concert, 1977. And what year was this? 2022. Cherry Red Records put out a 3-record set of an entire show. Now, all I can say after listening to this, compared to the original Live in the Air Age, is that there's a lot of editing going on the final album. They didn't want you to hear all the long guitar jams. So you're talking about Blazing Apostles fading out after what's like 6-7 minutes. Okay, on this, Blazing Apostles, it's all on white vinyl by the way, is 23 minutes long. I mean, Bill Nelson just started going nuts on the guitar, playing these long marathon solos, starting to hint at all these little melodies. He even played I Dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair. Wild stuff. But yeah, if you can't get enough of Bill Nelson's guitar playing, if you can track down either the boxed set of multiple shows or this 3-record set from Record Store Day back in 22, whew, this is amazing stuff. All right, let's see. Oh, everybody's talking about the Beat release. Very cool. Very cool. All right. And Coop, TGS, good to see ya. Hi, what's up? All right, let me put this aside. Now, speaking of Michael P. Dawson, here's some important information that I want to talk to you about. And this is the possible fall of Bandcamp for us independent musicians. Now, as a lot of you know already, I put out an album. Let me just pull out a copy of it. Here we go. I put out an album by my band Spudlock called Meh. And I made it available on Bandcamp. And I've sold a few copies off of Bandcamp. It's nice. And they have a system where people buy the record on the Bandcamp site because they know it's safe, it's reliable, it's secure, and you can pay your money, and you know that the money's going to go directly to the artist, with the Bandcamp getting a little bit of commission. And Bandcamp even had these things called Bandcamp Fridays, where they would drop all of their commissions and the artists got more money. You didn't have to pay anything extra, but the artist got more money, and that was very cool. And I benefited from a few Bandcamp Fridays, and I know that Mr. Dawson has as well. But he explained, and I knew that this was coming, but I didn't get it explained as well as he did. There is a new payment structure that they're going over to, and has to do with a company called, I think it's Stick. And I think they call it that because they're going to stick it to you. Because I was going to sign up for a service that's kind of like Patreon. Oh, Stripe, that's it. Stripe, thank you, Michael. It's called Stripe. But it should be called Stick because they're going to stick it to you. Anyway, Stripe also works with a website called buymeacoffee.com. Whereas if you like a particular YouTuber's videos or whatever they're doing, that you can throw them a little bit of jingle their way by buying them the equivalent of a cup of coffee, or like $5 or something like that. So a couple of people that I watch on a regular basis, they seem to be happy with themselves being on buymeacoffee.com. Let me turn myself up just a little bit so you can hear me. Anyway, so I started going in and filling out the stuff, and they say, okay, they want your information from your bank, they want your account number, and they want your bank's routing number, which is standard stuff. That's how they get the money to you. But then they start asking about all sorts of other personal information, social security number, and basically, if you're not an established business, if you're an independent musician, I mean really independent to the point where you're not making any substantive money off of this, the information that they asked for was just intrusive, asking for way much information, way too personal information. I'm surprised they didn't ask me personal preferences on stuff. So I stopped, and I kept on getting follow-up emails saying, hey, you haven't filled up your Stripe account yet. We're ready to work with you. And it's like, no. So Michael P. Dawson, he took a look at that, and he agrees with me. Yeah, this company wants too much information, and I'm not a big enough company to do that, and I don't want all of that information falling into the wrong person's hands. I'm going to find another way to sell my album. So anyway, Michael stated that his albums, which I have a few of already, because we did an exchange where I sent him my album and he sent me one of his albums, but he sent me a lot more. And he sent me a CD of this, his most recent album, Hurtle Turtled Out of Heaven. I reviewed it on one of my live streams, and I really enjoyed this album. This is, for an abstract electronic piece, this is really well structured. It's very relaxing, a little challenging, but in a good way. I liked it a lot. So since I knew that there's a good chance that I wasn't going to be able to get a lot of Michael P's stuff on Bandcamp in the near future, I decided to jump in and buy this right away because I wanted to have this on vinyl. And it's cool looking. Let me show you the vinyl. It's nice. It is, I believe it's random, but this is kind of brownish, or kind of like muddy water almost. So this is what the water would look like if you let the turtle sit too long in the tank. So, hey Mothra, what's up? Good to see ya. So, it's very interesting. The sides, record sides, are standard album length sides, but the grooves only seem to look like what you'd see on, if you could see it there, yeah, you can, on what you'd see for like a 45 RPM single. These are full length, full fidelity recordings here. And it's like that on both sides. It's mostly because of the way that the sounds on the recording are very sparse. There's some air in between the notes, and this is not the kind of thing that really requires wide grooves. So this is a good sounding album. If you like experimental electronic music, this is right up your alley. Check it out. So, yeah, I received that in the mail, and there was something else in the box. Swamp Water vinyl. I knew it! Love it. Thank you, Michael. So, there was something else in the box that was kind of, shall we say, guarding the original music. He sent me this record. Now, the name of this record is Humor in Music, 18th Century Style. And this is a release on the Turnabout Vox label with some Wolfgang Mozart, Leopold Mozart, and Joseph Haydn's Toy Symphony. Silly compositions recorded extremely well. This is a really good sounding record. I was surprised at how good this was, but Humor in Music is just the start of it. Because when you put on the plastic bag that the record came in, if you're a Zappa fan, you'll get this right away. Does humor belong in music? Wait a second. That sounds familiar. Where is it? Here we go. Here we go. Does humor belong in music? This is a Japanese laser disc of the 1 hour video that was released from Zappa's '84 tour. Does humor belong in music? And I know it was bootlegged as a vinyl album. I just I've never been able to find a copy. But yeah, he sent that to me out of the goodness of his heart, and I thought it was quite funny and quite generous and quite wonderful. So, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it. Appreciate your friendship. Appreciate your music. So, yeah. All right. So, as I stated last week, there was a record show the next morning that I went to. And I picked up a few records. This one I have yet to listen to, but because I believe I still have to clean it. No, I cleaned the record. I just haven't listened to it yet. But this is an album that I've always wanted to have in my collection. I just never ended up having it. It's Red Cream. Red Cream. I can talk. Toy Boat. Red Queen to Griffin 3 by Griffin. This is a prog album that came out in 1974 on the Bell record label, and this is a repress done from some third-party record company. It's got the original Bell label on it and everything from Bell Records, just like it was a Partridge Family or a Tony Orlando and Dawn record. But yeah, this is some good stuff if you're into prog. So, that I may be listening to late tonight with the headphones on. Okay, so let's take a look at some other records I got, because it was a very, very interesting shopping. Oh, I think I showed this last week. I found this at a thrift shop. First Youngbloods album in stereo. And this, for for $2, amazingly well taken care of, and it sounds great. You can tell from the recording that this is all done on a 4-track. And your 4-track was drums, bass, all in the left channel, vocals in the middle, and guitar and or keyboards in the right channel. That's the way the entire album is mixed. And strangely enough, it works quite well for this ancient album, which came out in 1967 on RCA. Very cool. And we're going to be delving into more RCA records here. Going to be checking it out. All right. Here's one that I saw and I had to pick it up. Prez by Perez Prado. Yeah. Latin. Rumba. King of the Mambo is Perez Prado. Oh, Perez, a.k.a. Prez. This has some great stuff on it, especially the first side. Side 2's got a bigger band. But, yeah, banging on those congas. This is some hot stuff from, doesn't even have a date on it, but I have a feeling it's from the 50s. So this is cool. Yes, indeed. Another record, which I wish I could have found a stereo version of this, but this is one hot record. Lambert, Hendricks, and Bavin or Bavan. It's Dave Lambert, John Hendricks, and it used to be Lambert, Hendricks, and Ross, but I think this is before Ross joined the band. The female vocals are done by Yolanda Bavin, or whatever. Anyway, she's a Ceylonese. And this is live at the Newport Jazz Festival 1963. And this is one hot album. I mean, whew! The electricity on this album and just the sheer excitement of this record is really inspiring. It's also got Coleman Hawkins on tenor sax, Clark Terry on trumpet and flugelhorn, and the Gildo Mahonis Trio, with Gildo Mahonis on piano, George Tucker on bass, and Jimmy Smith on drums. This has jazz vocal interpretations and just jazz vocal aerobics and amazing workouts of 1 O'Clock Jump, Herbie Hancock's Watermelon Man, Sack o' Woe, Deedle Dee, Deedle Dum, or Deedle Lum, Give Me That Wine, Yeah Yeah, which was a hit for Georgie Fame and was also covered by They Might Be Giants, Walkin', the Miles Davis standard, which has some great scat singing on it, and Cloudburst, a little quick thing at the end, which just, oh man, just motor mouth, unbelievable vocals. Very happy to pick this up for, I think, $2 or $3. It's a little worn and it's in mono, but maybe I can find a better copy in stereo. So, yeah, very exciting, very fantastic. All right, a couple other things that I picked up. Charlie Anderson, good to see you. Sup? Who else is in that chat room? Paul Portland. Cool. You ought to play a sample. I'd love to play a sample. Copyright restrictions. But yeah, one of these days I'm going to start doing some streams on Twitch, which we're on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/BillsBoxOfSound. And I will play some of these records because on Twitch, if you're live, you can play this stuff, but you can't save it for copyright purposes. But YouTube, you play something that's copyrighted, they'll shut you down right away in most cases. But so yeah, I would love to play some of this stuff. This album I wasn't too thrilled with, but I wanted to try it anyway. It's the Roy Ayers Ubiquity, and the name of this album is Lifeline. And it's got a nice little picture of Roy Ayers inside. Roy Ayers, who plays vibes. And also electric piano and synth and vibraharp. Shano O'Farrell on congas and percussion. William Allen on bass. Philip Wu on piano and keyboards. Justo Armario, or Almario, there it is, on tenor sax. Steve Cobb on drums. John Mosley on trumpet. James Mason and Glenn Jeffrey on guitar. Chuck Anthony and Kelvin Banks on guitar. And Edwin Birdsong on piano. And lots of vocalists all over this album. There's only one track that is instrumental. Side one's mostly slow jams. Side two's mostly dancey funk music. So interesting stuff. Yeah, Roy tends to do that, Michael. He just leaves his clothes and shows his epidermis for the camera. What can I say? Okay, and let's see. Last but not least, I almost got. I saw a very good, almost mint minus record. A copy of the GTOs. Girls Together Outrageously, on the Straight label, produced by Frank Zappa. Permanent Damage. The record was in almost perfect condition. The jacket was pretty darn good, and it had the booklet inside of it. The original booklet that came in with this record with the gatefold. Ah! Dude wanted $100 for it. I was trying to talk him down to 50. He came down to like $70. Hey Zindo, good to see you. Barry, what's up? Happy Saturday. Anyway, so I could not bring myself to pay $70 for a copy of Permanent Damage by the GTOs. So maybe one of these days I will find a copy, or maybe I'll see this guy again and I'll have the extra money with me. But I also there was a lot of Beatle stuff at this specific record show, and I saw 2 different copies of this album. John Lennon, Yoko Ono, Unfinished Music number 2, Life with the Lions. This is a Japanese press. There was an American press that was for $25, saw this one for $20. And I thought, why not? Jeff Olmaker, good to see you, man. Yes, indeed. Oh, okay. I just may very well message you, sir. And very cool. Mowgli, good to see you, Mr. Dayhiker. Anyway, so I'm buying this record from the dealer and giving her my $20. And some dude comes over, looks over at me and says, "Man, have you ever heard that album? That's not even music. It's crap. It's just noise, man. It's just Yoko and John making noise, and Yoko makes the worst noise ever." Okay, but if you know about Yoko, you know about Yoko. You know what you're getting into, okay? It's performance art at its highest, okay? Plus, side 1, the track called, where is it? Cambridge 1969. back on the Ghoul Show, we had this thing where there was this local news anchor, Denise Dufala. She made a CD of music that benefited the Make-A-Wish Society. And we were promoting it by saying how bad it was. And we would say, what do you want to hear more? Do you want to hear Denise Dufala or do you want to hear Yoko Ono? And we played the beginning of Cambridge 1963, which is basically Yoko yelling and John Lennon getting feedback on the guitar. Then later on, there's some sax and some trumpet in there as well. Very conceptual, but I'm glad I got it. Let's look at some of these comments here. Let's see. When does the next Zappacast come out? Any day now. It's been produced. We've gotten approval from Universal, so as soon as they can get it up on the interwebs, you should see it most likely within the next week. And it's going to be a very cool episode. I'm very proud of it. Yes, new Zappacast coming. Let's see. Says Lonnie says, Bill, you should have called me about that GTOs. Oh, wait a second. About that GTOs, I would have spotted you to $20. And say, I'm already buying it. You don't have to sell me on it. Yeah, exactly. I said, listen, I've heard this before. I know what I'm getting into with Yoko. So there. And Barry says, how's Joe Travers? Joe is doing great. As a matter of fact, right now, he is on tour. Well, just starting a tour with Mike Keneally. Yes, he's part of Beer for Dolphins, and they're touring. It's Mike Keneally on guitar, keyboards, and vocals. Joe Travers on drums, and I think he's singing. We've also got Rick Musalam on guitar, and Brian Beller on bass. And they're going to be in Cleveland on, what is it? It's the week after, I believe on the 18th, they're going to be at the Beachland Tavern. I can't wait to see this show. Also on the 19th, if you're in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Sweetwater Sound is going to be having Mike Keneally and Beer for Dolphins full show. And that's a nice venue. I wish I could go out for that, but I usually do not go to concerts because I have a very busy life and I have responsibilities that keep me from going to concerts. But this is one I'm going to. Mike Keneally, Beer for Dolphins. Joe Travers is in the band. They've been posting some rehearsal videos on Facebook, and these guys are on fire and they're having fun. Can't wait to see it. All right, so that's what's going on with that. So, the name of this cast, even though I've already wasted 35 minutes, is my take on the Rhino Rocktober list. Okay, because the Record Store Day list has not yet come out. Hey, Thumbfinger, good to see you, man. But the Rocktober list has come out, and this is stuff that's coming out from Rhino Records to brick and mortar stores only at first. And I'm going to go down the list and talk about a few of these here. We're going to start with Deep Purple Made in Japan, the Steven Wilson remix. Yeah, there was recently a super deluxe boxed set of Deep Purple's Made in Japan, and Steven Wilson has remixed it as part of that boxed set. This is a standalone version of that. Now, on the website, it says a 1 LP version on 180 gram black vinyl, but that's a 2 record set. I think that's a misprint. There's also going to be a Sex Pistols, Nevermind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols on clear vinyl. Now, you know that just came out on Rhino Hi-Fi, and there's people who will say that the sound of it isn't that great. I could have told you that. I'm happy with my old French copy. So, but that's coming out as a re-release for in Rocktober, and let's see. I think that's going to be available according to the website on October 3rd. Now, October 10th, Fleetwood Mac's Tusk is coming out, a reissue on translucent cobalt blue vinyl, and also a 2-record set of Black Sabbath's We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll on 2 LP translucent green vinyl. There's also going to be a 5-record boxed set of all of David Lee Roth's solo albums. The Warner Recordings, it says. So that sounds interesting. Now, there's this thing that I've never heard of before called Death from Above 1979. Name of the album is You're a Woman, I'm a Machine on pink splatter vinyl. And this is kind of like punky noise rock. I want to hear that. Very exciting. The Doors' greatest hits with the square red cover is coming out on a Rhino Reserve, which is 180 gram pressed at Fidelity pressings, which should sound pretty good. The Lenny Kravitz album, Black and White America, I believe this is first time 2 LP on black vinyl. And also, long missing from the vinyl world, Morphine's Good album, the remastered edition on forest green vinyl. Here's what I'm not that thrilled about. The New York Dolls album, 'Cause I Says So, on red vinyl. Now that's kind of after the New York Dolls broke up and came back together, they did this album. There was also an album called Backwards Dancing in High Heels that I used to have, but I sold because it was just... If you are into the New York Dolls, let's see, where is it? I know it's around here someplace. Nirvana, 9 Inch Nails, Nilsson, New York Dolls. Is it right before or right after New Order? Here it is, right after New Order. Okay. The 2 albums to have if you want to hear the New York Dolls. The first album. This is great. $1 album any day of the week. But recently, Mobile Fidelity put this out in a 2 LP, 45 RPM. Too much for my blood, and I don't want an album like this on double 45 RPM. I want it on 33 RPM, blasted on your stereo, cheap copy. The other album that's good by the New York Dolls is this one, Too Much Too Soon. Great record. So let's see. Charlie says, I'm in for the Cars Door to Door and In Excess X. I have a feeling that might have been last year's Rocktober. But if they're reissuing it again, that'd be great. Okay, back to the list that I was going through. Porno for Pyros, the first album, which I have right here. Let's go here. That's coming out on vinyl. I believe this is going to be a 2-record set. That's going to be exciting. There's the Blue Moods of Spain, which I'm not completely sure what it is. The Distillers, Coral Fang. I have to research that. The Von Blondies, Pawn Shop Heart on Rhino Reserve. Typo Negative, the least worst of Typo Negative, 2LP. Now, there's going to be some Yes reissues. Namely, where is it? Nope, that's the wrong one. That's a 12-inch single. Find the right record, Bill. There we go. All right. Yes's 90125 is coming out with a Rhino Reserve, which should probably be a very good sounding pressing. It did come out as part of the Atlantic Records 45 RPM series with acoustic sounds, but I don't want to pay $60 for this album. But also being re-released on orange vinyl is Yes's Big Generator album. Are you ready for this on orange vinyl? This, I'm sorry, this was the last Yes album I bought. I know a lot of you people like the subsequent Yes albums after this, but this was not a favorite of mine. So I'm going to hang on to my old cheap copy on black vinyl and just be happy with it. Yeah, Big Genitalia, or we also call, me and my friends called it Big Masturbator. Okay, back to our list here. October 24th is going to be great for Dream Theater fans. Strangely enough, I'm not a big fan of Dream Theater. They very complex music, classic progressive stuff, but I just never got into them. I never liked them that much. But if you are into Dream Theater and you have missed out on the vinyl, oh yeah, 2 record re-releases of Octavarium, 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence, Systematic Chaos, and Train of Thought. That's very exciting for Dream Theater fans. Let's see here. Coming out next on Rhino Reserve, actually, yeah, it is going to be a Rhino Reserve. The Fleetwood Mac album Bare Trees. This is from the Bob Welch era. And let's see. See. The ladder and magnification are great. I hear you. I hear you. One of these days I'll give him a chance. I might even stream them. But anyway, now we're on to Fleetwood Mac. They've been re-releasing all of this Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham era stuff. But this is an album that hasn't come out in a hi-fi version yet. And this is pretty darn good. This has got Child of Mine, Bare Trees, Sentimental Lady. It's got Spare Me a Little of Your Love. Great Christine McVie song. Thoughts of a Gray Day. This is a good album, Bare Trees by Fleetwood Mac. That one is going to be showing up during the Rocktober bunch of stuff. Same day as the Dream Theater. Also same day as the Dream Theater and the Fleetwood Mac Bare Trees, there's going to be a marbled vinyl 50th anniversary release of Jethro Tull's Minstrel in the Gallery. This is a great Jethro Tull album. If you don't believe me, too bad. I love this album. Haven't played it in a while. I need to dust this off and check it out. Minstrel in the Gallery, Cold Wind of Valhalla, Requiem, One White Duck, or 0 to the 10th equals nothing at all, and I'm Just a Baker Street Muse. Oh, great record. All right, let's keep on going down on this list. Oh yeah. And this will be coming out later on in the month. Okay. 2 Ministry albums. Mind is a terrible thing to taste. And Psalm 69. Now, these are coming out in 2 record enhanced sets. Now, I believe this album did come out on vinyl, and this album's kind of long because it was put out during the CD era. People were just making longer records. There you go. And the same with this one. Now, if you look at the Rhino Records site for Rocktober, currently they just tell you that this is coming out as a 2-record set. They don't tell you what the track listings are. But I found out that there was a 2-record re-release last year, which I missed out on, of Ministry's Land of Rape and Honey. Okay? It's a 46-minute album which has been released on a single record, but they re-released this as a 2-record set, spread it out over 3 sides, and the 4th side was extra tracks that were on 12-inch singles. Very exciting. So, I'm wondering if this album will have like the 12-inch version of Thieves or Burning Inside on it. I mean, I've got CDs of this stuff, but I don't have all the 12-inch singles. And I want to get the 12-inch single version of Jesus Built My Hot Rod, which is on this album, Psalm 69. Hopefully that'll be on side 4 of the Rhino 2-record version. Very excited about that. Running out of time. See, you don't get the same information here that you get on Mazzy's videos. Of course, he has a lot of great information, but I have information that he doesn't give you. So there you go. Watch both. You'll love it. It's a way of life. The white zone is for loading and unloading only. Okay. Also the same day that the ministries are coming out, we're going to have... Now, if you missed out on this thing, which I jumped on this as soon as I found out it was a reality. The Mr. Bungle box set, which is called... quote unquote. There we go. Quote unquote 1991 to 1999. These are really well cut masters by Scott Hall of Mr. Bungle's 3 Warner Brothers albums. Okay? You will get... Now, these albums are going to be released separately during the month of October, part of this whole Rocktober thing, okay? First, we're going to have the very first Mr. Bungle album. That will be released on translucent orange vinyl. Now, the boxed set had all black vinyl, which I don't mind. And these are all cut wonderfully. They sound fantastic. So, this album will be released on Orange Crush vinyl. Next, we've got probably my favorite of these 3, Disco Volante, coming out on, I believe, light blue translucent vinyl. Great stuff. And Mr. Bungle is like John Zorn meets Raymond Scott meets Ren and Stimpy meets a trauma film. And it's all very, very complex and very, very wacky and very, very fantastic. The third one is California. 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 On 2-record set. Once again on black vinyl here. But they will be releasing it in Rocktober on translucent ruby red vinyl. Very exciting for you Mr. Bungle fans who missed out on the boxed set. That'll be available. Okay. And let's see, the Stone Temple Pilots self-titled album. This was the last album they did for Atlantic Records after the group had broken up and gotten back together again. It's not my favorite Stone Temple Pilots album, but if you're a big Stone Temple Pilots fan, that's missing out of your collection on vinyl, it's going to be released on red vinyl during Rocktober. Then there are the Warren Zevon records. I'm not a big Warren Zevon fan, although I appreciate his stuff, and I got a best of CD by him. Learning to Flinch, a live album. It's coming out. As is Mutineer and Mr. Bad Example are all coming out. And then on October 31st, a 2-record silver vinyl release, Rock and Roll Fantasy, the very best of Bad Company. So if you want to have your instant Bad Company record collection with none of the very deep cuts, all the hits, that you're going to be able to get on Halloween. And the other thing you're going to be able to get is Early Steps by Faces on black vinyl. So that's all of the details that I can discern. Don't know what the tracks are of the expanded versions. Don't know who the mastering engineers are. I do know that for the Rhino Reserve ones, it's a very safe bet that they are pressed at Fidelity Pressing. That's Mobile Fidelity's pressing plant. Those are going to sound great. They're going to be a few bucks more, but the single record stuff, that's going to be like in the $20 to $30 range. Easy. So keep an eye. Go to your record store. Talk to the people at your record store. Find out about when they're going to get those Rocktober releases. You can't order them on Amazon. At least now you can't. I know that the In Groove in Phoenix, Arizona is going to sell them through their mail order. And there's probably some other prominent record stores, brick and mortar stores that do have a presence online. And they will be selling stuff online. Also, I know that the flippers, they're going to be selling them on Discogs. So check your local record store. Talk to those people. Your local record store is a great place to hang out and learn about new music and also old music. So check that on out. Okay. What else is going on here? People are deep diving on Jethro Tull. Let's see. Passion Play is Paul's favorite. Oh, yeah. And Thick as a Brick and Minstrel over the top. Yeah! Oh, yeah. The triumvirate, okay? I mean, yeah. Aqualung is a friggin' classic. But Thick as a Brick, Passion Play, Minstrel in the Gallery, I agree with you completely. So there we go. I love it when you people just start yakking on this stuff. Good stuff. So, what else? Is there anything else new that I want to talk about? Not really. That's pretty much it. Next week. Wait a minute. Next week. Programming note. Let's see. Next week will be October 4th. I will be going to a record show in Westlake, Ohio at early in the morning. But also, there is a late Ohio State football game, and that game starts at 7:30. It won't be done by 10 p.m. I'm not going to be having a live stream late that day, but for all of you folks who are hardcore Bill's Box of Sound watchers, first of all, I love you guys. I really appreciate you. I love it when you come on out and watch and interact. It's fantastic. But there might not be a show on October 4th, but I might do a early show at 3 p.m. Eastern, which would probably translate to around 8 or 9 p.m. for most of Europe. So you European folks that stay up late and watch us live and don't catch us on the replay, you may be able to get your own live show. So that's that. Let's see. The week after that, yeah. On the 11th, we may very well have a show. Not completely sure. Oh, the 11th. Okay, the 11th. One of my stepdaughter's birthdays, and also the day of the devotional 25th anniversary in Cleveland, Ohio. Unfortunately, I will not be attending this year, but I may be doing a live stream. If devotional is live streaming their event live, I'm not going to do a live stream that day. So hang tight. Watch the Bill's Box of Sound page on Facebook. Watch this channel. I may do a little programming note thing. I may even make a reel or something like that. But that's what's going on. Let's start making noise with the synthesizer, because we've got a minute and a half to go. Please hit the like button, damn it. Hit that like button. Come on. Ding, 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 ding. Zick-gum-ba. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Had a lot of fun. I had a great time. I hope you did too. Stay tuned for your local news, except for those folks on the West Coast. And thanks for coming by, everybody. Be nice to each other. 8647. And see ya next time, folks. Thanks a lot, folks. See you next time. Take care. See you next time.